and it's a pleasure to welcome you here today. When legendary Met curator and early Warhol supporter Henry Geldzahler predicted in 1973 that Andy's going to feed a lot of artists for a long time, the Warhol effect had already begun. In the years since, Warhol's work has challenged, inspired, amused, enraged, and elicited countless other reactions from artists. As you all interpret this exhibition for the public in the days and weeks ahead, it will be interesting to hear your thoughts on this too, good, bad, and indifferent.
I think we've really stuck to a very, very high quality in the number of in the objects in the show, and I think that the kinds of questions that are raised are not simply sort of obvious questions about the influence of Warhol, but it's much more subtle than that. And what is the whole sort of impact of what we keep calling the Warhol effect?
As Andy Warhol might say, wow. It is said that he ate tomato soup nearly every day for lunch, and he did that for much of his life. We expect that he would be pleased with today's lunch, where we're serving his favorite, Campbell's condensed tomato soup. And by 1962, there were 32 varieties. So clearly, Warhol left nothing out when he debuted his groundbreaking work, 32 Campbell soup cans, at his first solo gallery exhibition that year. Each of the 32 canvases depicted one variety of soup, with the pictures displayed side by side, meaning all of 32 side by side, as if they were cans on a grocery store shelf. Legend has it that gallery director Irving Blum had promised Warhol that the show would sell out. Whether it's unfortunately or fortunately for him, only 5 of the paintings sold, I'm told, for $100 each. And given that his commitment to Andy, he bought the paintings back to keep the ensemble intact. And then, in one of the great art investments probably ever made, shelled out $2,000 for all 32 paintings. Did we commission the work originally, or play any role in that? And the quick answer to that is no. I don't think that's probably a surprise to you, but we did not commission any of those. However, 2 years later, the company commissioned Warhol to paint a red and white Campbell's tomato soup can, similar to those that were in the exhibition, as a retirement gift for outgoing board chairman Oliver G. Willits. I would note that when I retired from the company 3 years ago, I did not receive a Warhol painting, and I'm still waiting. The company asked Warhol to paint packages of our new, at the time, quality dry soup mix, which is depicted there, and he did that. The second question I got is whether we tried to stop him. If we didn't ask him to do it, we'd then try to stop him from using our soup cans. And thank goodness we did not. The answer to that is no. Company records did show that there was some discussion as what Warhol was doing at the time was then, in the early 60s, was sort of out there for many people. So they decided to adopt a wait-and-see attitude, and then eventually, obviously, got one made for their director, for the retiring director. And then finally, the final question is, does Campbell own any of the Campbell soup cans as depicted by Andy Warhol? The answer to that, thankfully, is yes. In the early 90s, Campbell purchased a 1964 acrylic and silk screen of the large Campbell's tomato soup can, which is much like the kind exhibited in the original show. Now, perhaps because of Warhol's passion for eating tomato soup, he continued to create dozens of versions of the tomato soup label, eventually moving from Campbell's traditional red and white colors to experiment with vibrant color combinations. It is with this in mind, and to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Warhol's 1962 groundbreaking exhibition, that Campbell has released a limited edition series of cans with labels that were inspired by original Warhol artwork. As you leave today, you will be able to get a gift bag which includes this collection of cans, so don't forget to do that. Our global design team worked closely with the Warhol Foundation to design labels based on 4 original artworks, colored Campbell soup cans, which were created by Warhol in 1965. He created a total of 20 colored Campbell soup cans, which he painted on canvases that were generally 3 feet high and about 2 feet wide. And he used unique color combinations, as he did in much of his artwork, certainly at that time. And you see that reflected in these designs, which are available exclusively at Target stores while supplies last.